Hello guys, Termex back with another Throne of Liberty video. Today, we're finally going to be going over the damage cycle and my keybinds for the Crossbow Dagger build. I've made pretty much every guide I can with this build, but this is the final thing, kind of telling you guys the synergies. And for you little lazy bones out there that don't want to read the abilities and you just want to know what abilities to do in what order, this video is also for you. So the first thing I think we should go over is keybinds, because everybody asks about that. If you look at the very bottom, you could see that my buttons are a little bit different than before, and 7 is actually messed up as we speak. Alright, that is fixed. But the first thing we're going to do is you're going to go into your settings for this game. First thing you're going to go to is controls under the first gameplay tab, and you're going to turn on Q skills. Why do you want this? This also combats server lag if you're on a East Coast server but you live on the West Coast, or if you just have high ping because your internet's not great, but it also helps the normal players as well. Now the best way to show this off is I'm going to activate my R, which locks me into an animation, and I'm going to click E to activate my poison. So if I click R and then E, you see E has a border around it. I'm not touching my keyboard, and at the end of the skill, E activates on its own, and I don't have to worry about pressing it again if I want to go do other damage combinations. But as for my skill bindings, going over into my skill binding settings, I made it so my defensive skill dodge is on my mouse button. My basic attack is my left click because I'm just used to left clicking. Changing targets is going to be right click, so I could just interact in that way. Guardian's going to be middle mouse button just so it's easy to do and I don't have to reach across my entire keyboard. But for the actual skills, I keep 1 through 5 the exact default because I feel like it's not too bad clicking those, but 6 is kind of awkward for me to click, so I put that on another one of my mouse buttons. 7 I put onto Q, 8 I put onto E. In Q and E, if you're going to do that, should be your pretty common skills that you're going to use the most, and just because they're closest to where your WASD fingers will be. So having Q and E on something important like I have, which is going to be my bonus damage ability, which I'm going to be using constantly, and my poison, which I want up constantly. Reasoning why I put those two abilities there, because I want quick access to them. 9 and 10 are going to be R and C. These are the lesser used abilities, but they are still going to be used pretty often. And then finally for 11 and 12, V and B, these are going to be the not as commonly used abilities, but I still want quick access to them. Way easier access than clicking 9 and 0 in my opinion, but those are my personal keybinds. And a little quick tip, if you want better FPS in this game, if you go over into the gameplay tab and go to character, put select targets to show skill effects, only do show party member animations. The reason you want that is because if you don't, you're going to see hundreds of players, fireballs, AoEs, projectiles, you're just going to lag everywhere. Do it to you and your party because really that's all that matters. So before going into the full combo, you need to understand what these abilities do. Mortal Mark, which is going to be my one in this instance, is going to be our opener every single time before we do burst damage, because we will get more damage from doing the burst potential for detonation mark. If you want to know more about these abilities, I have a video on my channel. I do not want to repeat myself. So let's get our target here, and as you can see, we're going to activate the Mortal Mark. And now this Mortal Mark in the top left, you can see the debuff lasts 3 seconds, and based on the damage they take, as you can see right there, the 400 damage explosion. Now this mechanic is going to be very important to recognize because you want to do the most amount of burst damage during that period. So what I would recommend is actually activate your Q and your E in my instance, which is your Selfless Diffusion and your Activate Poison. Selfless Diffusion is going to give us a higher offhand attack chance, basically guaranteed, and then Poison is going to give us a damage over time effect while weakening the target's armor based on my build. So in this instance, we want to activate Diffusion, Poison, Mark, and that will be our starter. That is your starter, that is your prep. You're basically preparing to do your damage combo. So just to see what that looks like, Q, E, 1, and then you're going to do your burst. Remember last time we did around 460 on the explosion, now we just did 625 on the same explosion, and we're not even doing any of our damage abilities yet. This is just raw potential from doing what we're doing. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing is adding some damage onto that, and what we're going to do with that in the easiest way possible is going to be rapid fire. The rapid fire nimble leap interaction. So if you look at my 2 ability, which is rapid fire, and nimble leap, which is my 3 ability, every time I activate rapid fire, it will go on a cooldown like every other skill in the game, but if I dash with nimble leap, based on our specializations, it will instantly give me back rapid fire. So what we're going to do is the same Selfless Diffusion, Poison, Mortal Mark, but this time we're going to go into the rapid fire nimble leap combo and do as much DPS as we can in that short 3-second period to see how much better the Mortal Mark explosion actually is. Remember, the first time around was 400 damage, that time around was around 620, 630. Let's see what we could do with this combo. With that explosion, we got 2200. By simply doing that short combo, 2200 damage on the explosion, plus all the insane damage that we're still doing right now and that we did during that combo leading up to the explosion. But we can take this combo even further, because now we have the QE into the 1, into the rapid fire combo. What do we do after that explosion? Because that basically treads the line of the 3-second combo. So that combo's done. You could also take the approach of doing QE1-R, and R in my case is barrage. The reason you'd want to do that is because you want to dash before your barrage, because if you're using the passive skills on crossbow correctly, you get 20% bonus damage and skill damage for a few seconds upon dashing. So let's see if doing the Annihilation Barrage is going to give us a bigger explosion proc compared to the rapid fire combo. 3,131 damage onto the target dummy. So yes, that did do more damage than our rapid fire combo, and arguably it was a whole lot faster. Though you don't want to always use that depending on the situation, but that is the perfect scenario, allowing you to do the most amount of damage. But now you have to remember, in all these combos I'm showing so far, we are not incorporating Nature's Protest. Nature's Protest is going to be your imbuement skill in this game that allows you to change the elements of which you deal. You could deal frost damage, flame damage, gale, or even lightning. Lightning will have the most damage possible, and it does chain if enemies are wet. It is going to chain in this case right here because we are with the target dummies and it is raining, so it will chain. But let's activate that really quick, and as you can see, we're going to be chaining to other targets and we're going to be doing bonus damage. Let's do the original combo as before, the QE mark into our rapid fire evade combo, and see if we hit for more than the 2,100 we traditionally did. As you can see right there, it was very hard to see immediately, but we did hit for 3,000. I'm going to try to get a pausing like iframe in the video recording, but it was 3,000 something. So we did get improved damage overall. So if you have enough mana, you want to activate your Nature's Protest because you will put out more damage for the overall damage combo. So now that we have it locked in that we're going to activate our 5, which is Nature's Protest, before anything because it's a toggleable. You could just turn it on and off. Now your 5's activated. Now you're going to go Diffusion, Poison, Mark, Rapid, Dodge, Rapid, Dodge, Rapid. And when you're done with that combo, you're going to activate your next ability, which is going to be Shadow Strike. This will allow you to teleport to the target and root them. Immediately, you're going to activate Wind Snatcher, which is my B ability, because this will guarantee you get some attack speed and some movement speed, making it easier to kite, but you're not going to be kiting. And after we leap to them and then use our Wind Snatcher, we're going to actually be using our Recoil Shot finally, because we will have 3 stacks of Repulsive Force. Our first 2 stacks will be obtained from doing our Nimble Leap cycle, and our final 3rd stack will be from Shadow Strike, meaning we get that 765% bonus damage guaranteed as long as we use it fast enough and do the combo fast enough. So now everything is on cooldown at this point if you've done the combo correctly, except for your Guardian, except for your Stealth, your Mana, and your Ultimate. So what do? We just do that whole combo, and I'm going to represent the combo up to this point right now. So now that we are at that point with the combo, and I swear that is a lot harder to do than it is to show you guys. I'm not going to front. It took me about 3 times to perfectly do that. Now, we only have our Merciless Storm, our Invisibility, our Guardian, and our Mana Conversion skill, which gives us more mana. In that case, only use your Mana Conversion if your health clarifies it. Like if you're low on health and you're low on mana, don't use it. You're going to get yourself killed. Put that on the back burner. Your Invisibility, it's a survival. Put it on the back burner. Don't really need the guaranteed crit from it, so that just leaves you with your spin to win. I would argue, if you're using the proper Guardian, which I highly recommend, which is Elowin, when you summon, you will basically do a Grasping Vines if you ever played New World, where you root everybody around you at a 80% chance. But the great thing about this, anyone affected by a bind, movement speed reduction, you get increased critical hit chance on all your range attacks, which makes you do a crap ton of damage. Plus, you could bind people through multiple means. You slow people with your Wind Catcher ability. You bind people with this ability right here, your Shadow Strike. You have many different ways of doing so. And that is when I recommend you pop your Guardian and then spin to win. Because if you pop your Guardian, it's an AoE, you're rooting people within that AoE, and then you could just spin to win, and all your cooldowns cooldowns for the cycle will be out of it by then. Just to show you what that looks like, I'll show you what the rooting and then spin to win is. You summon your guardian, they're rooted, you spin to win, you hit a lot more crits, and you're doing a crap ton more damage, and then by then, you can go back into your previous combo, your mark, shoot, dash, teleport, wind snatcher, 4, and then if you're low on mana like I am now, use up your mana. You need to survive, you're getting targeted, boss has aggro, there's a sword board on you, click your C, get the hell out of there, and then reset your combo. Remember, your invisibility and your mana are only used situationally. You do not need to use these consistently every time within your cycle just because you have them off of cooldown. Don't get into the habit of pressing all your buttons just for the sake of pressing your buttons. But I hope that combo and showing this really helped you guys with the whole keybind stuff and knowing which abilities function with each other properly. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button down below, as it does spread out my content to more people in the Throne and Liberty community. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on another video from me, guys. If you have any other video ideas, I am here to help you. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you all later.